Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how I make my pink noodle dish, which can be pink sometimes or not, but I'm just going to show you how I do it. And it's sweet potato starch noodles basically. And you can actually put a lot of different things in it, but this is going to be just my basic how-to. All right, so I start out with, and by the way, this video is not sponsored by anybody. Okay. I start out with the sweet potato starch noodles, and I do them 2 at a time. I buy them in packs of 4. This is the unopened pack of 4. This is the open pack of 4 that I took 2 out of. As you can tell, the directions are not in English, but I have found that once you bring your water to a boil, and this is the pot I'm going to use and the amount of water, you bring that to a boil and you put these in, and it's a good size. You don't need to, you're not going to need to break the noodles at all. It'll fit right in as is. You boil them for 7 minutes and then they're done. And after 7 minutes, these 2 packs will yield approximately 3 8-ounce servings of cooked noodles. And I will use one of those servings today, and then I will put the 2 others in the fridge. And additionally, a couple days ago, I put some walnuts in water in this jar to soak. You really only need to do it one day, just one day, have it soak. I fill it up with water and put some salt in. As you can tell, they've expanded. These have actually been in there for like 3 days, so you don't need to do it 3 days, just one day. But I'm going to bake those later, and those will go as the top, on the top part after everything else. All right, so let's get boiling. Okay, I just brought the water to a boil, uncovered it, and put the noodles in, so I'm going to occasionally stir it. And then after 7 minutes are done, I'm going to drain it and I will portion it out. All right, so basically 7 minutes has passed. I dumped out the noodles. This is what they look like right after they have been boiled. And so I portioned out 8 ounces, which is 244 grams. I put the first portion in here, then I put some water and salt over it. Here you can see what it looks like when I'm measuring. So here's 8 ounces, and I'm going to put more water in that and a little salt, and then I'm going to cover these both, put them in the fridge. And then this is the last portion that I'm going to use right now for my lunch. Now the next step, I am heating up the oven, 350 degrees. Once it gets to 350 degrees, I'm going to put these walnuts in that I've sort of spread out on this baking sheet and salted. Yes, that's aluminum foil. Don't come at me, please. I'm going to heat it up for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to take that out. At the same time, I'll have chopped this onion. I'm going to saute it first in a liberal amount of olive oil, garlic powder, and salt. I will saute the chopped onion for a few minutes. Then I am going to add some mushrooms, and I will continue to saute for probably about 5 more minutes. And then when I'm done sauteing the onion and the mushrooms, I'm going to add, I have here, and I really like this a lot, the red beet and cabbage organic sauerkraut, and this is what makes it pink. Okay, this is what's going to make it pink. Obviously, if you use sauerkraut that is not pink, it won't be pink, which I've done, and it tastes just fine. But anyway, this is what I'm using, and this is why it's pink. I'm going to probably use about 6 ounces of the sauerkraut, but this is sort of how grandma used to make it type of deal where you just do it by feel. I'm just giving you an approximate. Probably going to add then about a cup, so 8 ounces of my coconut yogurt. This is what I use. I've also used almond yogurt from by Kite Hill. They're both very good. I prefer the coconut. I think it's nice, and it gives us this sort of really nice saucy texture. And of course, here are the noodles that I've transferred because I needed the colander to sort of warm up and de-ice the mushrooms. I get these mushrooms, are pretty good. I keep them in the freezer so they don't go bad. And then when I'm ready to use them, I just simply run them under warm water, and then I don't have all that extra ice or whatever, and it just sautés up that much quicker. And then when I'm done, here's the avocado I've been saving. Yes, that's a plastic bag. Don't come at me. I half of the avocado went on top of my daughter's vegetable soup, and I saved the rest, and I'm going to have it on my noodles along with the walnuts. All right, so let's get to sautéing. I have sautéed the onions and mushrooms for several minutes. Now I'm going to add the yogurt and the red beet sauerkraut. And then I'll show you what it looks like after I've mixed that all in. Once it's sort of thoroughly mixed and heated up, then I'm going to fold in the noodles. And what I normally do, but I can't do today because I wasn't able to get them from the store, was I like putting broccoli sprouts in. I just love it. And there can be issues with sprouts. People worry about bacteria. But if you saute it for a couple minutes, then it's you don't have to worry about that. And I just love the way I feel, and I love the way it tastes. But alas, not today. Okay, this is about as much yogurt and beets, and you can see there's beet juice there for the sauerkraut. And I'm going to fold it in. I'm going to, mix it up, fold it in, and then I'm going to add the noodles to it. All right, and I'll show you when I'm ready to do that. Okay, if you can see this, there's a lot of liquid in here that I'm going to let sort of boil off. And then when it gets to a certain consistency, then I'm going to fold the noodles in. Obviously the liquid from the beet juice, that's what you're seeing here basically. Okay, once you mix everything, it doesn't take long to thicken up. You can see it's starting to thicken up the texture a bit. Probably in about a minute or so, I'm going to add the noodles, and I just want it to be, actually it's probably good. I can add the noodles now, fold it in, and by the time it's done, it'll probably be the perfect consistency. So I'm going to do that now. Also, in about a minute, the walnuts should be done in the oven. All right, here we go. I just added the noodles. As you can see, they're mostly, for the most part, translucent. The cooler they get, the more opaque they get. I don't know if technically if you put them in the refrigerator and they will get more opaque. If that will make them more resistant, I don't know. I can't answer that question, but it's possible. Anyway, so I'm going to gently fold these in. I have already taken the walnuts out of the oven. You do not want to overcook them. And as you can see, the noodles are very sort of sticky together, so I'm going to actually have to put my phone down to really give this the attention it needs because it's a little awkward. So I'm going to do that. And the next scene is going to be me having plated this with everything on top. So I'll meet you back here in a moment. One more shot before the plating. That last scene, I had turned the stove off while I was tending to the walnuts, and once I turned the stove back on, the noodles loosened up quite quickly. So it's not an issue. You don't have to worry about the noodles being difficult. And this is what it looks like. But I will say this, they are sticky. They do stick together a bit, and it can be a little awkward when you're trying to move it from the saucepan to the plate. So you have to, I've used tongs sometimes, but I think I'll be okay with just using the spatula. But you may feel more comfortable using tongs, but this is about the right consistency. It's done now. I feel like it's done. So now I'll plate it. And here's the finished product. As you can see, it's very pink. It's gluten-free sweet potato noodles with veggies and a yogurt sauce. You can actually substitute whatever veggies you want, but for me, I do like the sauerkraut. I do like the mushrooms, but I've used endive and pressure cooked beans instead of what you see here, and it's turned out wonderfully. I had extra walnuts, so I'm setting them aside for snacking. Maybe I'll put them in a different meal. But there you go. Yeah, I hope you enjoy. This probably is enough for 2 meals if that's your thing. You don't have to use 8 ounces of cooked noodles. You can use 6 ounces or 4. But this is how I've been enjoying it. All right, everyone. I'll see you next time. More videos to come shortly. Take care.